Hello everybody and welcome back for more Let's Play Banjo-Tooie. In today's episode, we're going to go ahead and enter level 7, and we already had a bit of a sneak preview of in the last episode and a few episodes before. Welcome to Hailfire Peaks. This is the lava side that we're in right now.
2 years! Finally, I've made it to the warmth of the lava world, with a belly full of water.
And so, yeah, Gobi's now finally made it to the lava world that he's been saying that he was wanting to go to since, back in Banjo-Kazooie. And, well, he's finally made it, so he's actually said that, after the encounter with him in Clock Wood, you'll have to have rescued him from Witchy World first to actually trigger this cutscene, because we're going to need him for something, the one thing that we've been doing for so long now, and just kind of torch him, but, in a bit here. Alright, so Hailfire Peaks, it is, I actually really like the whole concept of it here, and it's a pretty large one, but, but it's a really nice concept. I actually kind of like this level, too. You want to watch out for the hot spring here because it is scalding hot, as you can see here. So careful not to go into there, but we're going to do something about that too because there's actually something there. And watch out for these guys. These are hotheads, and I fucking hate those guys so much because, they laugh at you and they try to swoop down to you constantly for the attack. We actually did first see them in Witchy World, so I never got to talk about them though. And these are hot hands. We want to watch out for them too.
Hey, I don't recall you paying for a tour of my volcano. I'm gonna burn your furry hide.
Wait, what? Burn the furry hide up? Wait, you're gonna be shooting the... Ah, yes, of course. Ah, God. What a dick. That is not a great way to welcome us here. God damn it. Alright, so yeah, this here is Chili Billy. He is, spoiler warning, he's actually the boss of this level. Now, keep in mind, though, this level actually has not one, but 2 bosses, and I'm kind of jumping ahead here. So yeah, what he's doing right now is that he's getting real pissy at us for apparently trespassing in the, trespassing in here in his, volcano. And, like, well, we're gonna want to come here anyway, so he's gonna keep on shooting down these fireballs at you constantly. And so he'll probably take a break for a brief moment, though, but then he'll start roaring out loud, and then he'll try to shoot the fireballs at you again. So, guess what we're gonna do, folks? That's right, we're gonna go in and counter him and fight him as a boss. And you guys are probably going like, oh, wait, you're gonna fight the bosses now? Because, yeah, I know, normally, normally I would just go, all the other levels in this playthrough is that I would always save the bosses for last, just the bosses being the last thing that we do before leaving the level. But this is gonna have to be an exception, though, because, it's always... Oh, and yeah, that fucking pothead is being an asshole. Yeah, it's actually recommended that, whenever you first go to Hailfire Peaks, it's actually recommended that you beat them first. So that way there, once you're done with them, then they won't really... you'll have no hazards going on with you, and so no kind of attacks whatsoever. So, yeah, it's always best recommended to actually go for them first before you do anything else. Just, fight the bosses, at least whichever side you're in, be it the lava side or the icy side. And yeah, that's basically what Hailfire Peaks is, that, there's a lava side and an icy side. So right now we're in the lava side to start with. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and fight them first because I really don't feel like having to be bombarded by fireballs from the dragon just being an asshole and just not welcoming us. Jeez, how rude! That is very rude. Call us rude for trespassing. You're the one that's rude, just not welcoming us. Wait a second. Yeah, we actually kind of did trespass here, so maybe you had a reason though. So we're gonna go up here and just get out of the way first because I just don't feel like having to be constantly attacked by those fireballs. So so yeah, normally it would have been the last thing though, but I'm just gonna go for the first thing to do. So it's probably the best way I'm gonna do so, unless you're that much of a masochist. So let's go there. We're at the top of the mountain, and here we are, Chili Billy, hot and spicy dragon.
Ah, at last. You must be the pizza delivery boy. No, just local jiggy hunters. Lies? I bet you've got my 12-foot spicy meat special in that backpack.
Afraid not, Warface.
Then I'll eat you instead.
Alright, folks, so this here is Chili Billy, and so, also I gotta say, I actually really like the boss fight against this here.
Ugh, so cold.
Alright, so what you want to do is, you see those cans here? Shoot those ice eggs right at him.
I'll soon have you licked.
Alright, and so he's gonna try to basically, lick us for that there. Also, yeah, what is it with you anyway? Like, you're so weird. Like, first you go and attack us just for trespassing, and then you want pizza? Like, what the hell? You just mistake us for pizza delivery, and you expect a pizza delivery for that, though, and then you decide to actually attack us, though? Like, what more do you want? Anyway, so on to the boss fight at hand. So basically what you have to do is that you see those cans right here. You want to make sure that you have the correct element. So in this case, he's actually weakened by ice eggs. So yeah, you want to make sure to only go for the ice eggs. Any other eggs don't really hurt him at all. So yeah, just shoot in the ice eggs. Just go into the cans right here, and then just shoot those shoots, and then there we go. And just shoot him with the ice eggs. The only way he attacks though is that he'll shoot fireballs at you, and then after you attack him, then he'll try to basically lick you. So you have to just jump over this tongue. Because, you know, the tongue actually does hurt, so you want to be careful there. And then I was there, just 6 HP for him, so there we go.
Enough. I've changed my mind. Forget the pizza. But I'm sure my brother will still want his.
Alright, so yeah, you think we have the Jiggy by now, but nope, we still have Chili Willy to do.
I reckon I'll go get a couple of Big Al burgers.
Okay, yeah, I guess, you know, just change your mind there. Yeah, what about pizza, though? And yeah, I kind of gotta say the name what the boss was, but you know that's actually you know I figure I'll just go in and say that right now. So, see after beating this guy, then it's actually there's actually the other dragon because you know like I said this level actually has 2 bosses, but those bosses themselves they're actually related to each other because you know they're actually supposed to be brothers. And so the other boss is actually going to be the icy side, but we're going to do that a little later though. We're not going to go to the icy side right away because like what I'm going to do though is that you know. Because I'm actually fighting the bosses firsthand, or actually at least fighting Chili Billy firsthand, is that this video of me going through Hailfire Peaks is actually going to be 4 videos long. Because usually, you know, instead of the regular 3 videos long for the previous levels, this is going to be 4 videos because what I'm going to do is that for the first couple of videos, I'm going to be covering the lava side, and then the second half will be the icy side. Although part of it is actually going to be the me going back to the lava side for a brief moment because I already did record all of Hailfire Peaks. So yeah, that's actually the reason why. That's actually what I'm gonna do is just you know kind of like you know even this whole thing out with the way the videos will go for Hailfire Peaks. So that's actually what it's gonna be. But yeah, so that was Chili Billy. So yeah, like I said, we didn't really get the Jiggy from him yet though because there's also his brother to deal with that we have to do as well on the icy side. So just by beating both of them, that's when you get the Jiggy. So you know we're not quite done with the whole bosses just yet though, or at least yeah the bosses of the level. But yeah, it was actually a short one though. You know, it's just 6 HP. For that though, so you know, just that's all you have to do, just read the process. You really want to make sure not to fall off the mountain though, because you know you want to make sure to you know just look after yourself, and you know just you know make sure you go over those pits here, just look at your drop shadow, and just make sure you don't fall off the mountain because that would really suck, and you have to go all the way back up again. So you know that's that's just all you have to do. So. Anyway, so yeah, I'm actually jumping over those hot hands at the moment though. We actually shoot them with the ice eggs, and I think that I don't know if that can actually work with any other egg though, but that's actually the only way you go down though. But unfortunately, since Banjo doesn't have the ability to shoot eggs though, because obviously he can't though, because he needs Kazooie for that. Then you can only avoid the hot hands right there. So, oh, and also there's some other enemies right here also shooting fireballs. So yeah, I thought we were done with Chili Billy trying to do that. Those guys shooting those fireballs, those are called gargoyles, and they will, the moment they actually detect your presence, then they will actually try to also shoot the fireballs at you, and they are very annoying to deal with. And I guess, you know, the lava side is kind of annoying because of it. Now, here's a Jam Jars hatch right over this way, so this one is going to be a Banjo exclusive move, and this is a pretty cool one too. This here is called the Shack Pack. And so, what the Shack Pack does is that if you press and hold Z, and then you press the down C button, and you have to make sure it keeps Z held while doing this, is that Banjo will actually go right inside his backpack, and then he'll actually just walk through any kind of hazardous areas. So we'll actually see in a second. Yeah, there it goes again. Once again, I was expecting that. So anyway, so that's actually what you do. You can actually just you know be able to. You're basically invulnerable against any kind of hazardous areas. Like and so you can also be able to walk underwater as well, like that as well. So just you know go to the very bottom of the bottom floor of the water. And so, like, basically any kind of, you know, any kind of hazardous liquids, they can actually be able to use a Shack Pack and go in there without any ill effects. So I'll actually be showing this off in once we get over to one of the hot springs. But it's actually pretty useful for that as well. So, anyways, let's see, what else was I gonna say? So another thing about the boss's levels, so in this case, Chili Billy, I did say that that you know since I fought him first, he had 6 HP. But But as a matter of fact, I'll actually go over this, you know, once we actually do get to the other dragon, dragon brother. So this is actually where the shack pack comes into play. So if you use a shack pack and then you go in there, and so look at that, we actually go into the hot spring without any ill effects whatsoever. So Banjo will actually be able to protect himself from any kind of hazardous liquids, like the chemicals in Grunty Industries, or you know, toxic waste, or in this case, you know, the scalding hot water. So and so we actually see this fish here, though. Oh my God, it's Gloop! Oh no, Gloop! Oh no, what did they do to you? Now I'll never go back down to the bottom of Clanker's cavern to get some free bubbles for air. Oh. Okay, no, just kidding. Actually, that is not Gloop, though. That fish right there is actually called Din Din. And we are going to need that fish for something, though, because it's actually supposed to be some kind of a food item for a certain somebody that will be meeting here, and I will give you a hint. That certain somebody is an absolute fucking failure of a father. You'll know what I mean, but you know, once we actually do see him again. So anyways, so you know, just going around, you know, this whole area of this left side here. Oh yeah, and also I have to get out of the way. So yeah, make sure you pick up that Jinjo that's in there too, because it's just in the alcove. Also, how is that Jinjo actually being able to handle being in the being in hot water? Like, I mean, we already know that Jinjos are apparently supposed to be magical creatures, but like, you know, they have some kind of special ability to not get any ill effects from anything dangerous whatsoever. Like you know, they don't drown when they're underwater, or you know, they don't even get burned alive, or you know, or boiled alive in the hot water. So like, damn, they really are like magical creatures. So anyway, so now I actually did mention in the last episode that there was going to be a lot of trivia to cover about Hailfire Peaks, and you know, particularly with the lava side. So I'm going to go ahead and just say this right here. So the lava side of Hailfire Peaks, fun fact, it was originally going to be a level in Banjo-Kazooie, and at the time it was going to be called Mount Fire Eyes. And so one way to support this is that there's that one area in Gruntilda's lair where it has, you know, it has all the lava down at the bottom, or basically like some kind of lava pit. That's actually where the picture for Gobi's Valley is to unlock, and then it'll just and then there's another area where you go through that one corridor that leads you to a Mad Monster Mansion. So you know that area there. That was originally supposed to be some kind of area that's made for that level in question, Mount Fire Eyes, and so they're going to use that right then and there. But the thing about it was, though, is that you know, they there was so much time constraints, and so it was actually getting close to the release date, and so the end development time. So that whole level had to be scrapped, and so that level wasn't even present, though. But there was actually still, like, you know, some of the beta stuff left over in that said area in Gruntilda's lair, because that was going to be for Mount Fire Eyes. But because of the time constraints, then that level had to be scrapped. And so, therefore, they saved that level, and so they actually brought it over to Banjo-Tooie. In this case, that will just be the lava side of Hailfire Peaks. Now, I'm pretty sure that that Mount Fire Eyes was also going to be the same way as well, because you know, because it's supposed to be a play on words, you know, fire and ice, because you know that's kind of what the whole theme of the level is, you know, just with fire and ice being together. And so, so maybe that's part of what it is, though. It's kind of like a, you know, some kind of a naming pun for what it is, you know, Mount Fire Eyes. It kind of sounds similar to ice and all that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is, though. But we did see in the beta footage of that one video where it was just going to be like a, you know, there's like, you know, temples and all that, and it's going to be lava themed, though. But that was actually, you know, just what the beta build was. That was originally going to be Mount Fire Eyes, but then that was just brought over to Hailfire Peaks and the lava side. So those concepts from that beta design was, you know, finalized here in this game, though. So we had to wait till then. And so, therefore, that Mount Fire Eyes party would have been this very same area, the very same lava world that Gobi was referring to when, you know, when he said he was going to try to escape over there, you know, after we beat busted him in Click Clock Wood and he got so fed up with us. So that was probably going to be the area that he was going to. But, you know, since they had to scrap that level, then they kind of changed it around, though, and they still actually have it left over for Gobi to say that he's going to the lava world, but you know, but we never got to see it, though, because it never existed in the final version of Banjo-Kazooie because of it. So just for the sake of consistency, you know, they just want to keep it consistent there, and consider the fact that they were bringing back Gobi in this game, so they actually want to keep it consistent. And so with Gobi still trying to get to the lava world, and so that's how Hailfire Peaks came to be, and so that's, you know, that ended up being the very same level that Gobi was referring to, and so that's how he made it to. So yeah, there's your little trivia right there. Now, another thing about Hailfire Peaks is that oh, and also let me just stop right there first. So yeah, I know you've been seeing for quite a bit here. We're actually inside the volcano, and so we just for this mission you just have to step on the switches and to open up the pathways to get to the until you get to the Jiggy switch and you get your Jiggy there. And there's also some hints there that we have, you know, for some stuff about the level. So, let's see. Shit, I lost my train of thought. Oh yes, that's right. Yeah, you want to keep an eye on your air meter as well because, because it's way too hot, and you know it's like sweltering heat, and Banjo's having a bit of a hard time trying to breathe in here because of how hot it is, and you actually hear him coughing. So that's why the air meter is here, and so we're gonna make sure to not stay in there too long, otherwise your air meter will run out. So yeah, there's gonna be areas like those just inside the volcano where where it gets so hot that it's actually hard to breathe in there. So anyways, yeah, so another thing about Hailfire Peaks is that there's going to be a lot of neat little Easter eggs and cameos that we'll be seeing, and, some nice little history stuff there. And, there's going to be more of those, especially when we get to the icy side of this level. But there's going to be, like, quite a bit of cameos we're going to see here, and especially, like, the one certain character that we'll be seeing. But, it's actually one of those things I really like about this game, just, having a little nice little cameos and callbacks to some things. And, like I said, Hailfire Peaks, I actually like this level. It's a really nice concept, with a fire and ice theme kind of level, and so it's pretty nice and all that, and the music really slaps too. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and stop myself here, and there's a big Coliseum that we're gonna be going to. What is that Coliseum about? Well, we're gonna find out next time. So next time let's play Banjo-Kazooie, or Banjo-Tooie, I mean. No, we're not playing that game. It's Banjo-Tooie. Sorry, brain fart. We're gonna go inside this big Coliseum and see what's gonna await us there, and then there's gonna be more to explore. So I will see you guys next time.